People in the Windrush generation in Wales say more needs to change when it comes to racism. They left the Caribbean and the Commonwealth, arriving in the UK after the war to help rebuild the country. And although they were promised well-paid jobs and a new life, the reality was often more complicated. But despite facing racist abuse and discrimination, many in the Windrush generation have made extraordinary contributions to Wales. And now a new documentary is celebrating those achievements, as Amelia Belly reports.
But why did you come to Wales and why did you come to Newport?
They were named after the first ship leaving the Caribbean for Britain in 1948. And over the decades, thousands more people from Commonwealth countries answered the call to rebuild Britain. But according to the people behind a new documentary, their contribution to Wales needs to be better recognised.
I don't think that the Windrush is celebrated enough by those outside of the Windrush communities, and likewise it's not celebrated enough by younger generations.
Despite this being more than 30 years on, a lot of their stories and a lot of the challenges they faced are still current and contemporary to what I've experienced. You know, the discrimination, the racism, the difficulties in society that they experienced back then are still very much relatable.
The film follows 5 people from Newport, including 82-year-old Roy Grant. Born in Jamaica, he arrived in the UK as a 19-year-old hoping for an engineering job. What he found was racism and discrimination.
Those who did not shut the door, or there was no door for them to close, they said, "I'm sorry, there's no vacancy." These are all the writing that I have done, yeah?
Eventually, he settled in Newport, rose through the ranks at a factory and developed a tool that revolutionised the carpet industry. Now he's a published writer and has created exhibitions documenting the Welsh Windrush experience.
Even though it's slow, the changes that we are now experiencing in Wales is far greater than the experience of a lot of other places.
People who came part of the Windrush would have carried this suitcase. And the reason it's called the grip is because they gripped it so hard, just in case anybody stole it, and there was all their lifelong belongings in these suitcases.
Sean Wharton was born in Newport to parents from St Kitts. His family were turned away from jobs, excrement was pushed through their letterbox, and more than 100 people even tried to evict them with a petition.
Most people of my era anyway, they had to find a way and the strength of dealing with it. You know, my family, many of the families said, "No, I'm not having it."
And with the strength and support of his family, Sean broke boundaries. He was the first black footballer to represent Wales under-15s and the first black football manager in the Welsh Premier League. Today, he runs anti-racism training.
My parents, they knocked the doors down, really, so I can walk through. Do you know what I mean? But even when I got there was still resistance, you know, and I've got to knock the doors down and make the place open plan so my children and my grandchildren can not even realise there was a door there in the first place.
And through the legacy of Welsh Windrush families like Sean's, Wales's past, present and future have been changed forever.